Good morning. Good morning. This is Stephanie A. Wynn coming to say good morning and drop some good tips. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, the 17th. Can you believe it? We're on the 17th day of February. So I want to give a shout out to everyone who is tuning in live, YouTube, Facebook, and the I have started my business now what group. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today is going to be really good because I want to talk about three things you need to build your author brand. I'm really truly on this author brand because a lot of authors or aspiring authors, they have goals to write a book. And to do that, um, to write the book, you got to have some things in place. But before you even start writing, or even during the writing process, there's three things that you will need to build this author brand. And the reason why I'm on author brand is because a lot of times we're so busy publishing and writing the book and going through the editing process that we even skip the most important part, which is the brand, like branding. Like nobody knows that you have this book, so nobody knows to buy into what you're selling. So I'm just here to give you these tips and get your pen, get your paper, invite your friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. And we're going to get right into these tips today. Again, these are three simple tips that will help you build your author brand. I'm super excited to give these tips today. Shout out to my Facebook listeners, and we're gonna get started. Let me log into Facebook here. If you know anybody that needs help with building their brand, share this with them. So we're gonna get it right into it. So tip number one, which is three things you will need to build that author brand. Tip number one, you got to have a growth mindset. You have to have a growth mindset. The reason why you have to have a growth mindset because in order to move from being stuck to unstuck, it's gonna have you're going to have to change the way you think, right? So a lot of us think that I'm gonna keep thinking the same thing, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing, and I'm gonna see different results. Your expectations is to see different results with doing the same thing, and that's just not how things work. Um, and specifically with being an author, when I published my first edition of my book, Ready, Set, Go, I no one told me that I needed to build an author brand, and I had a publisher. So again, you nobody knows that you have this book. You have to get out there and let the people know that you have this actual book, that this thing is actually um is on its way. If you're doing pre-sales, or even if your book is already published, you still can market and brand yourself as an author. And I think when we hear the word branding, we kind of get frazzled. We get frazzled, we get scared, or we say it's overwhelming. We don't want to deal with that. But again, think about this. We know if you don't start with building a growth mindset, you're going to do the same thing. A year goes by and you have the same mindset. You're stuck. That's that fixed mindset, right? So, number one, you want to have is a growth mindset. And again, these are the three things you need to build an author brand. That's the number one thing. You got this. It starts with your mind. If you don't think that you can build an author brand, if you don't think that you're going to be successful with being an author, then you're not. Because you just said that you're not going to be successful. This may not work. So you're putting doubt in your mind before you even get started. So again, you got to have that growth mindset. And what is that? A growth mindset is the person who's always looking to succeed. They don't give up. They keep going. They don't self-sabotage things, right? So this is the growth mindset person. And I'm going to say this for my entrepreneurs in the back. If you're an entrepreneur and you have an online business, everyone should have some type of digital product, some type of book, whether it's an ebook or a paperback book, physical book, right? So to do that, you have to change the way you think. You have to change the way you think. You may have a community of people who are online, And they may want to purchase what you have, right? So I'm just saying. So let's talk about this. Like the growth mindset, that's the person who does not give up. Even when they don't think that things are happening, even when they feel like, just say, you know what, I'm done, right? You keep going and you help others while you wait. You help those who are less fortunate. You give back that way. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. So let's go on to number 2. We'll go to number 2, which is, let's talk about number 2, y'all. Number 2 is you got to create a plan for your book, your brand, and your business. You must create a plan for your book, your brand, and your business. And the reason why I say this is, where are we going with this book? What is the purpose of this book? Why am I writing this book? Are you writing this book just for notoriety purposes? I've seen it all. I've seen where people, they write their books, they sell a bunch of them, they get on the chitlin circuit and they hustle them books. They hustle them. They sell maybe like, maybe they sell 1,000 copies in 30 days, right? They sell 1,000 copies of their book and they disappear. They fall off. You don't know where they went. They're gone. You never hear from them again, right? So you have those type of authors. And then you have those authors that truly, really believe in their book. They truly believe that what they have in this book is going to really impact and transform people. So are you the author that has a book? You have a book, but you haven't promoted the book. You haven't marketed the book. You haven't even picked the book up after what? A year after it's been out? If you're that author, put hashtag I'm that author in the comments. I'm that author. It's okay. It's okay. Because I was there too. But when I published my book, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. So it wasn't that I stopped promoting my book. It's just that I was ill. I had to get my health in check. I couldn't, it was bad. It was really bad. But one thing I do know is this. I know that what my book has, it will transform people. Readi-Set, Go was created for the startups to give them a point of reference when starting a business, right? Because people need simplicity. They don't want a lot of fluff. They want simplistic tools and tips. So I'm asking you, if you're that author who has a book, you haven't promoted the book, you don't know where to start, you got to create a plan for your book, your brand, and your business. Because being an author, it is truly a business. So if you're an author that has published a book and you haven't pushed or promoted your book, you haven't sold any of your books after it's been out, maybe it's been a year or two, hashtag I am that author, right? What are you going to do to get your book into the eyes of other people? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Shout out to Dominique. Dominique, thank you for sharing my video. Thank you so much. But listen, what are we doing to build our brand? Like, what are you doing? You got this book, but you just don't know what to do, right? Because we're so excited. We've sold to our friends. We've sold to our partners. Like, we've sold to our cousins, right? All our Facebook friends. Hey, my book is on Amazon. Please go buy my book, right? It's like you're begging them to buy this book. You don't have to do that. If you truly believe in your book and you believe that this book will take you from being stuck to unstuck, meaning that this book will move you in a way to getting some things done, then you must create a plan for your book. I'm going to ask you this. Why did you write the book? What was the purpose for your book? What's the purpose? What's the vision? What's the mission? Why did you write this book? Was it for notoriety purposes? Or was it for to really truly make a difference in the lives of people? a community of people. So that could be, you know, that could be your community of people. And so in the description, I put in the description of this live, I put the reader avatar template. You're going to need to know who that is before you create this plan. That's a free template. Grab it. You're going to need it. It's a how to find your reader avatar template. It's free. Grab it, get it, share it with your friends, right? And then you want to create a plan. So you may be saying, well, Stephanie, what does that plan look like? Let's talk about the plan, right? So a plan should include how you're going to promote, how you're going to advertise, how you're going to brand, right? Let me tell you what all three of those things are under. They're under marketing. And sometimes we put the cart before the horse, and we'll start promoting and advertising our book without having a plan. We do that often, even in business. Some people do that often. They're selling on the fly. Hey, I'm selling jewelry. I'm selling, you're selling everything, but you're selling to everybody. And the key is like, you have to really, really you have to niche down. I'm going to give you an example for those who saw the movie Baby Boy, when Tyrese decided to go and sell clothes. Let me tell you what he did. He researched those women because he has a love for a woman, right? And he know what they like. He went and picked up some dresses. He was like, "Oh, this go good with your skin tone." Yes. So you see how he micro niche down all of his the things and that he knew these women would like. He looked at their skin tone. He looked at their style, right? So again, this is all about knowing who your community of people, readers are. A lot of people don't like to read. I get it. I get it. A lot of people don't like to read. A lot of people like audiobooks versus the physical copy. I myself, I love physical books because I can go back and reference it and I can, highlight. That's just me, right? I'm an avid read. I read every month. There's 2 books that I read every month. And so what's your plan for your book? My plan wasn't just to put my book on Amazon, right? My plan wasn't to do a pre-sale. That wasn't my plan because I was looking long term. The purpose of my book was to truly get it in the hands of as many people as I could in the United States. So that meant that I had to go outside of my normal comfort zone, which was I'm going to go on a book tour. But before I go on this book tour, I'm going to start local. Then I'm going to expand out. Then I'll go on a nationwide book tour. So I went on a nationwide book tour, and I know the first thing you're probably saying, well, what does that entail? Do they pay you to come? No, it's an investment. It's an investment in you. If you don't have a brand, nobody knows that you exist as this author, and your goal is to become a speaker or a coach or a consultant. You want to be known for I want to be the world-known, world-renowned author, world-renowned, business consultant or coach, right? Or speaker. What are you going to do that? And sometimes it requires you to create a plan for your book, create a plan for your brand, create a plan for the business, right? So let me hit you with number 3. Tip number 3. 3 things you need to build an author brand. You got to execute. You have to execute this plan that you just created for your book, for your brand, and your business. When I wrote Ready, Set, Go, I created a real business plan, a traditional business plan, like the one with all those pages. Yes, I created a business plan because I wasn't playing when I came, because I believed in this book. My name is on this book. Did I go through a lot with the pup? Yes. Let me tell y'all something. I got some stories for y'all, but I did not let that stop me. Did people want to attach to me because they saw a good thing? Absolutely. You're going to get that. You're going to get that. But you have to be aware. You have to know your plan for you is the plan for you. It's not for everybody. This book you have is for someone, not everyone, because everyone doesn't want to. Everyone doesn't need your book. So I'm saying that to say, you got to have a growth mindset. Number one. Number two, you got to create a plan for your book, your brand, and your business, right? And number three, you got to execute. You must execute. Execute. So don't forget to sign up for the How to Build Your Author Brand webinar. If you need more help or tips on this webinar, this is taking place March the 8th. I put the link in the description. Please join it. It will take place 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on March the 8th. Sign up. It's going to be good. It's going to be held via Zoom. This will not be in the group. So if you want to, someone who's in the process of writing a book, someone who is aspiring author. Look, you need to know how to build a brand. You need that brand. You got to build a brand. I was on a webinar yesterday with attorney Joey Vitale. He was like, at some point, you will need a brand for your business. You're going to need, and he's a trademark attorney. You're going to need a brand for your business. So if nobody knows, and I want to leave you all with this. If nobody knows that you exist as an author, nobody's going to buy your book. If nobody knows that you have this thing, they're not buying. So set your book up the right way. If you need help with building your author brand, sign up for the webinar. If you need the tools that you're going to need to put in place for your author brand, like a media kit, a one sheet, you're going to need that, right? Because people need to know who are you, especially if you're wanting to be a speaker, you need a speaker sheet. If you're going on these podcasts or interviews, you're going to need that too. You're also going to need to protect your brand. So there's some tools and tips. Visit our website, stephaniewin.com/shop. If you want to sign up for the webinar, click the link in the descriptions. Sign up. It's March the 8th. Listen, for those who have attended my webinars, they know that I over-deliver. I give you what you need. You're going to be ready to take on and go start doing something right away. Okay? So I'm your girl, Stephanie A. Win. We will talk soon. Have a wonderful Thursday. And again, it's time to set up these author brands. If you are an author, you're an established author, and you have given up on your book, why? You can't get mad at the publisher. You can't get mad at what people say. That's internal because you're not pushing your book. And you got to make the time. You got to make the time. There's 3 things that you're going to need. That's one, you got to invest. But the main 2 out of the 3 is effort and time. And if you can't put forth effort and time, don't waste your money. Stephanie A. Win. You all have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.